So what are you hoping to do in the last, waning weeks of this campaign to try to sway a very Republican district to vote for a Democrat?
Keep doing what we're doing. I have such an amazing staff of my team. They're all grad students at Utah State University, and I live up there. So the energy that they have has been really heartwarming for me. I would much rather be out shaking hands and giving hugs and talking about things, but do the most we can with social media. Look, if Blake needs to spend $1 million on TV ads, he will. I'm not that guy. I'm just not. And so we'll do what we can with the plan that we have, and that's knocking on a few doors and doing it as safely as we can and sharing our message on social media, and hope that resonates. The good thing with me, and I'm not calling attention to me, is my work as a tribal leader. I've gotten to meet a lot of people in CD1. I've lived in every county in CD1, I think, throughout my life. And so I have good relationships with people. And I just had 2 text messages from Republican lawmakers that said, you absolutely have our support and we'll be vocal about it. So when I decided to run for Congress, I made the announcement, and I had probably 20 phone calls from people saying, well, we've worked with you a lot at the legislature, and we thought you were a Republican the whole time. And I don't know if that's great or not great, but it speaks to being able to cross the aisle and have a good relationship with people. Relationships make the difference. And that's what I hope to take to Washington.
Relationships will probably be important, and maybe more important in the days to come, because everything's become so divided in Washington. If you win, there's a chance that talk of a second stimulus would still be happening once the new Congress is in place. We talked about this in the debate a little, but what do you really think needs to happen to make sure that a lot of those small businesses just close their doors and never reopen them again, to make sure that we keep America going?
Well, if COVID stays the way it is and it continues, I actually don't agree with the president on hardly anything. But I think the PPP for small business, allowing them to keep employees, was a big deal, and I'd love to see that continue. I'd love to see unemployment benefits extended. I'd love to see those who lost their health care be put under Medicaid until the pandemic's over and they can get back to full employment. There are very few people in our society, I believe, that want to really just take advantage of the system. I think most people want to go back to work, but they want to do it safely. They want to earn a living. You just feel better when you're working for what you receive. And so, but I think the federal government has a role to play here as long as the pandemic continues. Once it's over, then we can kind of get back to making tough decisions that are going to affect, the economy and other things. But we should never do that on the backs of the most marginalized communities that we have. Never.
Hi, it's Lee Davidson, Salt Lake Tribune.
Hi, Lee.
Can you say what you think about President Trump's comments about whether the election will stand?
I told my wife the other day, just from hearing him talk, I thought, this isn't going to end well, because he's been setting us up for mail-in voting is not real. It can't be trusted. Well, we do it here in Utah, and it can be trusted. So, but just from the rhetoric we've seen the last couple of weeks, you knew he was paving the way for something. And so that's concerning to me. I'm glad Mitt Romney spoke out about it, and I hope other leaders in the Republican Party speak out about it too, because it's really at the core of our democracy. And so I just hope he'll do the right thing, but I have a good feeling that he's not going to. I told my wife the other day, he could commit murder on national TV live, and his supporters are still going to support him, and they're going to dig in their heels. And so I'm afraid that's just where we're at with our government today, and it's sad. Thanks for the question, Lee. Well, thanks everyone that made this possible.